How's it going, everybody? So, I'm gonna have a quick one before Shabbat comes in. Very quick one. I'm probably gonna shave this very soon. As you can see, I got my lulav. Shake it, baby, shake it. So, I also got, what's it called? The other three species, and the etrog, which is up there. Today was a zoo in the supermarket. My God, it was a zoo. I called it an Ezekiel level event. I see nobody's showing up yet, which I find quite interesting. Even though it's already 11 o'clock in New York, but whatever, it is what it is. So, it's okay, this is going up on YouTube anyway. So guys, in 2008, we had a guy by the name of Bernie Madoff. If you guys remember, some of you guys remember, many of you guys probably remember, he was basically the embarrassment and the scourge of the Jewish world. And he's going to go down in history as that, him and his sons, him and his family. Because why? Because he orchestrated probably, and I haven't had my theories as to why he did this, and really he was, I personally think, if you ask me, I think he was covering for his sons, because I was working on Wall Street at the time, and I knew his background, and I knew that he was one of the founders of NASDAQ and one of the people instrumental in electronic trading, what's known as electronic trading today. Without him, these things would not exist. Actually, most people don't know this. But he was one of the people who took, I guess you could say, was named responsible for pulling off the biggest Ponzi scheme in financial history, in global history. We're talking $65 billion, probably more. I think 14 billion of them were returned, or maybe 20 billion almost. But most of that money, about at least 2/3 or 3/4 of that money was not returned to the people who were scammed. And my friends, I don't know if you know what a Ponzi scheme is. A Ponzi scheme, no matter where you go, if you're talking about financial, if you're talking about, what do they call that? Multi-level marketing. You're talking about any kind of investments where people, have to invest. Basically, the way that it works is it only works if everybody's in. Or if everybody who put their money in, everybody invested, stays in. If a few people start pulling out, it's one thing. But if a good amount of people, let's say 50% of the people, do not invest, right? And then the other people who already invested start trying to pull their money out, that's already a problem for the Ponzi scheme, for the Ponzi schemer, really. That's already when the whole thing starts to unravel, right? So that's when the schemer goes into creating all kinds of, ploys and incentives and stories and all kinds of persuasive arguments and he'll send people charts and entice them with, things that are like carrot and stick, lure them, promises of percentage this and percentage that, percentage gains or whatever it is. All kinds of things to keep the investors, the pool of investors in. Because it doesn't work otherwise. The whole thing collapses, right? It's not like regular investing where a person has clients, and let's say it doesn't matter how many clients he has. He can have 1, he can have 10, he can have 100, doesn't matter, right? He can just as well make money for one client as he can for 10 or 100, whatever it is. One is not reliant on the investment of the other person. But when you're talking about something like a Ponzi, that's when you're getting into this kind of stuff. My friends, I don't know if you noticed, the people who are selling us a particular product, they're not just selling it to us, they're trying to coerce us, they're trying to force us now. They were trying to like kind of entice us in a friendly way, you know, offer incentives, tell us, you know, this is going to be the cure-all to this issue that we have. Then they were trying to give people pizza and French fries, depending on where you lived. A lot of things. And then when you start to say, well, I want to pull out, right? People who, let's say, invested, they say, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, they say, well, but you have to, because otherwise it doesn't work otherwise, because, you know, you could still have a problem, but it's not going to be as bad, and you can mitigate and this, and then what they start doing is they actually start, the people who are selling you this product start vilifying the people who don't want to invest. Oh, those guys are just, you know, those guys are just, you know, raining on your parade. They're just, you know, in Russian we call it sukharit, you know, like to dry up the situation, you know, to make everything dry, you know. And they're sukhari, you know, like they start bad mouthing the people who don't want to invest, and also on top of that, bad mouthing the people who already invested, who realize like the jig is up and don't want to continue. They want to pull their money out. My friends, I don't know if you noticed. I really don't know if you noticed. This is what's been happening here in this situation. Anybody who hasn't invested is evil. It's actually all their fault that the whole, you know, the product is not, or I guess the stock is not doing as well as it should, because the product is so great. And if only they just invested, it would be greater, and it would work, and the product would work, and the stock would go up, and this, and it's all the fault of the people who are not. Have you ever heard of such a thing, guys? Have you ever heard of a company coming out, you know, I don't know, Apple, Google, whomever, and coming out on television and saying, you know, guys, the reason our stock is falling is because it's the fault of the people who are selling. The people who are holding, who are selling. Even more so, it's falling because it's the fault of the people who don't want to buy. On top of that, my friends, what did the company would say? They would say, in this case, they're saying, if you buy our stock is great, you should buy it. It's fantastic, it's gonna go up, the company's great, but, if anything should happen, we're not liable to give you your money back. Or in this case, we're not liable for any issues. We're not liable, sorry. We totally absolve ourselves, but it's so great. And buy it, and take it, and get it, and make sure you keep getting it, make sure you keep buying it, and on top of that, you should really, really dislike the people that don't buy it, because if they don't buy it, something's wrong with them. They're crazy. They don't believe in our product. What's wrong with them? They don't believe in our product? Come on. You know, it's the solution to, you know, all these people dying, even though it's 0.5% of the population who has an issue. Forget about much less the overall population. I'm talking about only a population that gets this issue, has to deal with this issue. And the people, and those 0.5 have comorbidities and all kinds of things, and obesity and this and that and the other. And there are other solutions, my friends. On top of that, you know what they do? They call the media and they call politicians to badmouth other companies that are not Ponzi schemes, that are just, you know, you can invest, you cannot invest, that are may be solutions. No. The Ponzi schemers are bad-mouthing, telling the government and everybody else, this is garbage, this is pieces, you know what? But keep investing in our thing, and keep going, and buy it a second time, buy it a third time. And by the way, if you bought it a third time, bad-mouth the people that only bought it twice. And if we say buy it a fourth time, you should bad-mouth the people that bought it 3 times, the ones that bought it 2 times, the one that bought it once. Even though now we're coming out with information that if you already had this issue and you bought it once, you're probably okay. You can pull out your investment, right? No, guys. You got to keep buying. And as you're buying, don't talk to the people that never bought it. Those are the reason. Those people are the reason that our stock is going down, or that our stock is not going up. Those people are the reason that our investment and you know, yeah. Those are the guys. Those guys. Make sure you hate those guys. Those guys are crazy, right? Those guys are crazy for asking even questions about our company, about what we're doing. And by the way, any study that comes out, guys, don't pay attention to those. That's just facts. Don't pay attention to that. Totally allow fear to rule you. No emunah, no bitachon, just fear. Be afraid. Be afraid of people who didn't buy the stock. Those are going to be your downfall, the people who didn't buy that stock. But you have to keep buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. My friends, God, I was in the stock market for many years. I personally never, Baruch Hashem, either engaged in the Ponzi scheme or participated in one. But my friends, I know one when I see one. I know one when I see one. This isn't difficult. This isn't difficult, my friends. This is really not difficult. This is the largest Ponzi scheme in medical history, my friends. What we're seeing today before us. This is the largest, I'm repeating, this is the largest Ponzi scheme in medical history. There's absolutely not a shadow of a doubt that this is the case, my friends. And if you come and you tell people, what about this and what about that? There's always an answer. Just like a Ponzi schemer and a con artist, you question, you come, what about, in Madoff's case, how come you don't have electronic statements? How come you don't have this? How come you don't have that? My friends, there's always an answer. There's always a manipulation. There's always vilification. What, you don't believe me? What, come on, you've been a trusted investor for years. What, you don't believe me? We sold you this, we've sold you that before. Come on, when have you ever lost with me? Come on, old buddy, old pal. My friends, this whole thing is about to come crashing down. This whole Ponzi scheme is about to come crashing down. The question is, my friends, who is going to who's going to be held responsible for this? It'll be one person, it'll be a few people, will it be executives, will it be politicians, will it be kind of bureaucrats, one in particular that I'm thinking of, who has a reputation to uphold for 40 years, supposedly, allegedly. We don't know, my friends, but somebody's going to have to take, so to speak, the blame for this. Somebody's going to have to take the fall for this. But my friends, rest assured, we're coming up on the Shabbat. Just too much salt. Just before Sukkot, and my friends, rest assured, the truth will be revealed very soon, my friends. We just have to daven. But the truth will be revealed. And when it's revealed, it'll be shocking to some. It won't be so shocking to others. But we will be able to proceed as a society, as a world, B'ezrat Hashem, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to figure this out. And like I said before, many times, when we come out of it, we're going to be elevated human beings. Hopefully, I hope. Education system is going to change. The medical system is going to change. There's going to be a huge overhaul, and the financial system as well. It's going to be a huge overhaul, guys. But rest assured, guys, this Ponzi scheme is about to become toast, and heads are going to roll. Anyway, guys, all right. It's about that time to break forth the rhythm and the rhyme. All right. Gotta go hop in a quick shower. And then it's Shabbat. Baruch Hashem. Shabbos Kodesh. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon.